everyone. Shane with Eurotech here. We're just going to go over some control navigation and a couple different models that we have. We're going to start off with the Mitsubishi M700 series. Um, on our simulator here, we'll go over the key navigation. We've also got our control panel that we use on our Eurotech machines, on many of them anyways. So let's just start off with the top row of keys. Here we have our monitor, our setup, which we use for, touching off tools, edit, of course, for your program, diagnostics, and then the maintenance. As we push on these keys, we're going to get a set of various soft keys, which we can toggle through for different things. For, say, PLC switches, we can turn things on and turn things off using the PLC switch. It's very common on the Mitsubishi control. We can check our load meter. We have our auxiliary M functions, gives all of our M codes on there. I don't want to go into too much detail on it because we could just carry on going through all the keys on it, but a couple other features that I want to touch on is diagnostics. Right, when we're working on equipment or trying to figure out what we've got going on for an alarm of something of that sort, we can go into the diagnostics keys. We can look at our IF diagnostics, of course, which we've gone over in previous videos, and we can check our inputs and our outputs. We can also check our drives. We can check our spindle units, and we can check our loads, what we've got going on. If we're getting a collision detection alarm, which refers to a load alarm, so that's a real handy one there. For the maintenance, right? We would use this to look at parameters. If we wanted to look up a parameter number, we would just select the parameter number icon, and we could type in, whatever parameter we wanted to look at, and then hit input, and it'll jump to that parameter. The other thing that we use in here is if we need to reset an axis, we can go to our to absolute position. Of course, they ask you for the password, which for Mitsubishi controls, it's pretty much all the same. It's M para for Mitsubishi parameter. It should never show the letters. It should always show the asterisks. If it's showing the letters, then you need to press the password input. So if we needed to reestablish an x-axis, for instance, we would move it to position where we want to establish it, and then we would set our absolute position set to a 1 and our origin P to a 1, and we would establish the zero return on that axis, and that's where it's going to go to. We'll go over, our control panel, because you'll see this on our machines. The F1 and F2 typically aren't used. These icons are for our tool probe, arm up and down. We can use the F1 as a washdown. That's an option for a hose. We have our path 1, path 2, path 3, continuous run. Of course, our hand wheel selections for our speed. Our auto mode, MDI, if we have an alarm. Tape we don't use. Hand wheel selection, right? Jog, rapid, zero return, and then turret, station change with the rotation. The axis select, if we were going to move, say, the x-axis, we can select 100 times, and we could move the axes and see our position move. What you're going to have, single block over here, optional stop, block delete. If we're running all 3 heads, of course, we would select all 3 heads. If we were in the auto mode, 1 head, 2 head, or 3, whichever. Our chip conveyor, on or off, coolant on or off, run the lube cycle, turn the light on, feed override, call it open, call it close, our door override. and sub-spindle collet open or closed, and then our overrides for our spindles. So that's what we have on there. And that's just a quick view on the navigation on that M700 series. We're going to then go over here. I have a couple more simulators set up over here. One with a FANUC control. This is an IO control. This simulator basically we use more for programming and training and stuff like that, and you know, some navigation if we got to help a customer get to a page on the FANUC control. The M800 series, again, this is another one we just use basically for programming. It doesn't have our main keyboard on it. It's just a general keyboard. But this M800 series you'll find on our new BMX machines. We have actually touchscreen on these, so you can use either the soft keys, buttons, or you can actually touch the screen anywhere. You know, so I'm showing here, I've got an alarm, kind of a nice feature, right? I can click on this alarm and I can hit the question mark, right? And it's going to give me the alarm description. It's kind of a nice feature on these controls. So just a quick overview on that. The navigation for your maintenance, your diagnostics, your setup, your monitor, PLC switches, everything we looked at over there, it's all in the same locations on this. Scooting over here to the FANUC CNC simulator. This is the common keyboard you'll have on the FANUC controls. You know, just to go through a few things on here. You know, again, our top row is usually our navigation for different things. You know, whether we're going checking the positions, we're looking at our program, going into the offsets. You know, a lot of times if we're doing some service work and we've got to use our inputs and outputs, you know, that's when we go into the system. We can see what model simulator we have here, what control type it is, that it's an OI. Also, the system, the more I push it, the more pages that I go through. A lot of times I'm using the parameter page. We also have on here is a sidebar menu, right, that we bring out. And this is where I'm going to find a lot of my parameter stuff that I'm going to use for diagnostics. You have your offsets, you have macros over here. Anyways, just a quick overview on that. We're going to go out and we're going to look at one more control, which is the latest and greatest from FANUC, which is the IHMI control. Again, that's another touchscreen, really nice large screen on it. So we'll come back on that one. All right, so this is the latest and greatest IHMI control. Yeah, navigation again on the FANUC side is all pretty similar. We have our top row, position, program, offsets, message if we have an alarm, and then our system, which again brings us into parameter pages. Now everything on here, we don't have any soft keys, right? Everything is done through you know, the touch screen. The other feature on here is, you know, we've changed some of the location of a lot of things, you know, for changing from ID checking to OD checking, that sort of stuff. We now have a Belia page on these, and on this specific model is a B620. A lot of our stuff now is in the Belia page, like our operator panel, where we can change the chuck directions from internal to external, and you know, a full boat of other things on there. On this also, we have our maintenance display, which is our standard FANUC looking page, so that we've been used to for a lot of years. And you know, another nice feature is we have all the manuals listed on here, and you can also upload manuals. If you wanted to take your bar feed manual and put it on here, you can upload it onto the control. So you can keep everything in one location. We have tool life management, of course, our maintenance manager here. If we have anything like fan alarms or stuff like that, or the batteries, we can come into here and we can see what everything's got going on. If we have any problems with a fan, we know exactly which fan we got to go to. And these are all general maintenance inspections that you should do. That's just a quick view on that. And that's the new IHMI control.